Welcome back to the most haunting place on Earth. In part 1, we explored the human stories of Pripyat, the lives cut short, the dreams abandoned. But now, we're going to the heart of it all. And then you see it, the Ferris wheel. It's the most famous part of Pripyat, and probably one of the most haunting images in the world. It's this giant yellow skeleton against the sky. It never gave a single person a view of the town it was built for. It just stands there, a silent witness to everything that happened. Sergei says it's become a symbol for Pripyat, for Chernobyl, for the entire disaster. It represents all the promise, all the potential, all the joy that was stolen from this place in an instant. You look up at those empty cabins, gently swaying in the wind, and you can't help but feel a profound sense of loss for a future that never was. It's not just the Ferris wheel, though. Every part of this small park tells a story. You have the bumper cars, or autodrome as they called it. They're all just sitting there, scattered around the track as if the power was cut mid-ride. You can almost hear the phantom sounds of the crashes and the laughter. Sergei walked us over to one and just put his hand on the rusted metal. He said he remembers being a boy in a different town, dreaming of driving one of these. For the kids of Pripyat, that dream was right here, just days away. Now they're just these metal shells gathering rust and radioactive dust, a playground for the ghosts of what if. And the silence, I have to talk about the silence again. In a place that was designed for noise, for screams of joy, for carnival music, for the buzz of crowds, the quiet is deafening. All you hear is the wind whistling through the metal structures and the crunch of your own feet on the broken pavement. And the Geiger counter, of course. Sergei's Geiger counter is a constant companion, beeping faster in certain spots, reminding you that the danger here is very, very real. It's this invisible threat that turned a place of happiness into a place you can only visit for a short time. A place where nature is slowly, and sometimes strangely, taking back over. Sergei believes it's important for people to see this, not as some dark tourism thrill, but as a lesson, a powerful, sobering reminder of what can happen when things go wrong. He said this park isn't just about the tragedy of Chernobyl, it's about the people of Pripyat, the families, the workers, the children. It's a memorial to their lost lives, their lost homes, and their lost innocence. It's a place of profound sadness, yes, but standing here you also feel a strange sense of peace. It's a warning, frozen in time, that we should never, ever forget. It's truly, truly unbelievable. Okay, so from the nuclear silence of Pripyat, we're heading to a place with a totally different but just as fascinating history. We are in Berlin, Germany, at a place called Spree Park. This place is wild. Our guide, Klaus, actually used to come here as a kid, so this is personal for him. He explained that this park has lived through a whole political drama. It originally opened in 1969 as Kulturpark Planterwald. And get this, it was the only amusement park in all of East Germany. The GDR, behind the Iron Curtain, can you imagine? It was a big deal, a huge deal. It was the government's way of showing their people and the world that they could have fun too. Klaus has these incredible memories of it. He said it was this splash of color and joy in a world that was often very gray and controlled. It was a state-sanctioned escape. He told me about the huge Ferris wheel, which was a landmark you could see from all over East Berlin. For him and his family, a trip to the Kulturpark was the highlight of their year. It was a place of pride, a symbol of East German life. It wasn't trying to be Disneyland. It had its own unique socialist-era charm. It was their park for their people, and it was loved. It's amazing to think about an amusement park having that kind of political and cultural weight, isn't it? Then, everything changed. The Berlin Wall fell in 1989. Germany was reunified, and this park, this symbol of the East, suddenly found itself in a whole new world, capitalism. It was taken over by a new owner, renamed Spree Park, and they brought in all these new rides from a park that had gone bankrupt in West Germany. Klaus said it was a strange time. Suddenly there were these huge, colorful dinosaurs scattered around the park. A giant fallen T-Rex became one of its most famous features. It was an attempt to compete, to be bigger and better, to fit into this new, unified Germany. But that's where the story takes a turn. The new vision just didn't quite work. The park struggled. Visitor numbers dropped, debts piled up, and by 2001, Spree Park was bankrupt. It just closed its gates one day and never reopened. And for nearly 20 years, it was left to rot. Klaus gets this look in his eye when he talks about it. He saw it as a vibrant symbol of his childhood, then saw it try to become something else, and then he saw it fail and be forgotten. It's like the park's story mirrors the story of so many people and places from East Germany. A difficult, confusing, and sometimes painful transition into a new reality. Walking through Spree Park today is just surreal. It's not spooky like Pripyat. It's more like melancholy. It's like a fairy tale that someone stopped reading halfway through. The most incredible sight is the old Ferris wheel. It's still standing, but the trees have grown up all around it, through it even. Klaus told us that for years the wind would catch the cabins and the whole thing would turn, making this eerie, groaning sound that you could hear all over the area. It was like the park's ghost was trying to say something. They've secured it now, but you can just imagine how chilling that must have been. And the dinosaurs. I mean, who doesn't love a good dinosaur? But here, they're part of the tragedy. The giant T-Rex I mentioned, it's still lying on its side, covered in moss and graffiti, like it was felled in some epic battle with nature. There are other dinosaurs too, peeking out from behind overgrown bushes, or half sunk into the marshy ground. Klaus pointed out an old water ride, where you were supposed to float through this prehistoric world. Now the fake volcanoes are crumbling, and the water channels are filled with stagnant green water. It's a lost world in every sense of the word. What's so fascinating is how nature has completely taken over. It's a jungle now. Vines are strangling the roller coaster tracks, swan-shaped paddle boats are floating in a pond thick with algae, and entire buildings are disappearing under a blanket of green. It's a powerful visual of what happens when we just walk away. Klaus sees it as a kind of poetry. The man-made world of the GDR and the capitalist ambition that followed have both been defeated by something much older and more patient. It's a reminder that no matter what walls we build or what systems we create, nature will always be there to reclaim its space. But here's the hopeful part. Unlike some of the other parks we've seen, Spree Park has a future. The city of Berlin has taken it over, and there are plans to revive it, not as a noisy theme park, but as a public park focused on art and culture, preserving the history and the strange beauty of the ruins. Klaus is so excited about it. He sees it as the park's third life, from a socialist paradise to a capitalist failure, and now to a creative historical space. It's a story of loss, but also a story of reinvention and hope. And that right there is a story worth telling. It's pretty amazing. Alright, so we've seen parks taken down by hurricanes, by nuclear disasters, by just not being Disney enough. But this next one, this one's different. This is Lake Shawnee Amusement Park in West Virginia. And let me tell you, it has a story that will give you goosebumps on your goosebumps. Our guide Connie, who grew up hearing these local legends, told us this place wasn't just built on land. It was built on layers and layers of tragedy. It's like building a house on a history book where every chapter ends sadly. It's just not a good foundation, you know? It's like starting a relationship by saying, "So let's talk about all my exes." It's just doomed from the start. Before it was ever an amusement park, this land was the site of some really intense history. We're talking about a violent clash back in the 1700s between a settler family, the Clays, and a local Native American tribe. It's a story of loss and retaliation that stained the very ground we were walking on. Connie explained that the conflict was brutal, with tragic deaths on both sides, including the children of the Clay family. It's one of those historical events that you read about, but standing there on that exact spot, you feel the weight of it. It's heavy. It's like that feeling when you accidentally sit on the remote and the channel changes to a really serious documentary. You just feel the mood shift instantly. So fast forward to the 1920s. A businessman named Conley T. Snidow looks at this beautiful lakeside property and thinks, you know what this place needs? A Ferris wheel. He wanted to create a place of joy and laughter for the families of local coal miners, a real escape from their tough lives. You have to admire the intention, right? He saw a beautiful spot and wanted to fill it with happiness. It's a noble goal, but it's like he didn't read the prequel. The land, it seems, had other plans. It's like it was sitting there, arms crossed, just waiting. Oh, you think you're gonna put a swing set here? Adorable. Watch this. And that's where the park's own tragic chapter begins. It wasn't just the historical sorrow that lingered. New tragedies started to happen right there, within the park itself. Connie told us with this really somber tone about the accidents that plagued Lake Shawnee during its operation. These weren't just little bumps and scrapes. We're talking about serious, life-altering events that happened in a place that was supposed to be the safest, happiest place for a kid to be. It's the ultimate contradiction, a place of fun becoming a source of fear, and that's a feeling that just doesn't wash away with time. Connie led us over to what was left of the swing ride. It's just these rusted chains hanging from a circular metal frame, looking like some kind of strange skeletal wind chime. And she told us the story of a little girl in a pink ruffled dress whose life was cut short right there. The story goes that a delivery truck accidentally backed into the path of the swings while they were in full motion. It's an image that's just impossible to shake. A place of pure, innocent joy, the feeling of flying through the air turned into a nightmare in a split second. They say her spirit never left, that sometimes on a still day, you can see her swing moving all by itself. Then there was the drowning in the park's swimming pool. Another young boy. Another life gone too soon. The pool is long gone, filled in with dirt and covered by weeds. But the story remains. Connie says people who are sensitive to this kind of thing feel a sudden, intense sadness when they walk over that spot, a feeling of being submerged, of being unable to breathe. It's like the land itself holds on to these memories, replaying them for anyone who's willing to listen. It's not just a story you hear, it's a feeling that seeps into your bones. It's more intense than watching a sad movie on a plane. You can't just close the laptop. Walking through Lake Shawnee is a completely different experience from the other parks. It's not about economic failure or grand ambition, it's about a deep, personal, human sorrow that feels incredibly present. Every rusted bolt and splintered piece of wood seems to whisper a warning. The Ferris wheel stands there, silent and imposing like a giant tombstone for the happiness that was supposed to be there. You can almost hear the faint echoes of laughter and screams of joy, but they're drowned out by this overwhelming sense of grief. It's a place where the past isn't just remembered, it feels like it's still happening right in front of you. Connie believes the place is genuinely haunted, a convergence of all the tragedies that have happened there over the centuries. She doesn't say it in a spooky, let's scare the tourists kind of way, but with a genuine sense of respect and sadness for the spirits she believes are still there. It's not a playground for ghost hunters, it's a memorial. Exploring it feels less like an adventure, and more like paying your respects. You walk softly, you speak quietly, and you leave with a profound sense of the fragility of life and the enduring power of a place to hold on to its memories. It really, really stays with you. Okay, now for something completely different. We're going from a park that was tragically finished to one that was never finished at all. This is Wonderland Amusement Park, just outside Beijing, China. And when I say unfinished, I don't mean they were a few rides short of a grand opening. I mean they built these massive, fantastical structures and then just walked away. Our driver, Lee, who took us out there, said he's been driving past these fields his whole life, watching this bizarre fairy tale castle slowly get swallowed by cornfields. It's like something out of a dream, or maybe a really weird fever. The plan for Wonderland was, to put it mildly, ambitious. This was going to be the largest amusement park in all of Asia. Think bigger than Disney, bigger than anything you can imagine. They started construction in the 1990s, pouring millions into building these incredible look-at-me structures. You can see the skeleton of a medieval-themed castle, these giant, colorful buildings that look like something out of a Dr. Seuss book, all just sitting there. Lee told us that for a while it was a symbol of China's booming economy and limitless ambition. It was going to be this huge statement to the world. So what happened? Why did this massive dream just grind to a halt? According to Lee, it was a tale as old as time, money, and land. There were disputes between the developers and the local government, and crucially, with the farmers who owned the land. They just couldn't come to an agreement on the price. So, construction stopped in 1998 with the promise that it would resume. But it never did. And for over a decade, this half-built fantasy world just sat there, a bizarre monument to a disagreement over contracts and cash. It's like planning the world's biggest party and then canceling it because you can't agree on who's bringing the chips. The result is one of the most surreal landscapes I have ever seen. You're driving through rural China, past farmers tending their crops, and then suddenly this massive, decaying fairy tale castle erupts from the fields. The local farmers didn't just let the land go to waste. They started planting their corn and vegetables right up to the castle walls, in and around the foundations of unfinished rides. It's this incredible visual of rural traditional life reclaiming this symbol of modern corporate ambition. It's like nature, and human nature just said, well, if you're not going to use it, we will. Walking through Wonderland was like stepping into a post-apocalyptic storybook. The structures are there, solid and huge, but they're empty shells. There are no windows in the castle, no rides on the tracks, just these massive concrete skeletons. Lee showed us how the local kids had turned the place into their own private and probably very dangerous playground. And the farmers, they just went about their business, using the abandoned buildings for shade or to store tools. There was no sense of awe or sadness from them. It was just part of their landscape, a weird barn they didn't build themselves. It was fascinating. What's so striking about Wonderland is the lack of nostalgia. At the other parks, you feel the ghosts of the joy that once was. You can imagine the laughter, the music, the memories. But here, there are no memories to miss. There was never any joy, never any screaming kids on a roller coaster, never any first dates. It's a place that's purely about the dream itself, not the reality. It's a monument to potential, to what could have been. It's like looking at the blueprint for a beautiful house that was never built. You can appreciate the design, but you don't miss living in it. The scale of it is just mind-boggling. You walk inside these cavernous, empty buildings, and you can see how grand the vision was. They were building something truly epic. But now, the concrete is crumbling. Rebar is exposed and rusting, and the whole place feels like a modern ruin. It's a powerful statement about the risks of dreaming too big, too fast. It's a reminder that even the grandest plans can be brought down by something as simple as a land dispute. It's a lesson in humility, written in 1,000,000 tons of concrete and steel, slowly being eaten by corn. Sadly, if you want to see this for yourself, you're out of luck. In 2013, all the structures were finally demolished. The land was leveled. The strange castle in the cornfield is gone forever. Lee told us it was strange to drive by and see it gone after all those years. So these photos, this footage, this is all that's left of the unfinished dream of Wonderland. It existed for over 15 years as this bizarre, beautiful, accidental work of art, a testament to failure that was, in its own way, more fascinating than a successful theme park could ever have been. It's gone, but we won't forget it. So there you have it. From a hurricane's wrath in New Orleans to a nuclear shadow in Pripyat, from a cursed playground in West Virginia to an unfinished dream in a Chinese cornfield. These abandoned theme parks show us how quickly places designed for joy and excitement can become monuments to economic failure, natural disasters, or changing social priorities. Each park tells a unique story about the dreams we build and the powerful, unpredictable forces that can tear them down. They are silent storytellers, and their tales are just fascinating, aren't they? What makes these places so emotionally powerful, what really gets you, is the contrast between their original purpose and their current state. I mean, think about it. They were designed, piece by piece, to create happy memories for families, to be the backdrop for laughter and first dates and summer vacations. But now, they've become these hauntingly beautiful places where we contemplate loss, change, and the incredible fragility of our own human dreams. It's that flip, from pure joy to profound sadness, that makes them so compelling. It's a feeling you just can't get anywhere else. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, I have to see these places. And I get it. So, in the description below, I'm linking everything I can find on access routes, safety requirements, and the legal considerations for visiting these parks. Some, like Pripyat, are accessible through organized tours. Others require some serious urban exploration skills, and let's be honest, maybe a little bit of nerve. But all of them offer an experience that a shiny, functioning theme park simply can't provide. It's a different kind of thrill, and because I love you guys, I'm also sharing my complete abandoned park exploration guide. This isn't just about getting there. It's about what to do when you arrive. I'm including the photography techniques that work best in these low-light, high-decay environments, the safety gear you absolutely need for exploring structurally questionable attractions. Please be safe. And maybe most importantly, the emotional preparation for experiencing places where immense joy and deep sadness exist all at once. It's a lot to take in, so it helps to be prepared. So I have to ask, which abandoned theme park affected you most emotionally? Let me know in the comments. Drop a little carousel emoji if you're as fascinated by forgotten entertainment as I am. And tell me, what is it that draws you to abandoned amusement parks? Is it the nostalgia for childhood? A curiosity about decay? Or that powerful contrast between intended joy and actual sadness? I really want to know what you think. It's just so interesting to me. And before you go, make sure you're subscribed because you are not going to want to miss what's next. Next week, I'm revealing ghost towns where you can actually stay overnight. That's right, places where entire communities vanished, but where you can experience frontier life exactly as it was when the last residents gave up on their dreams. It is going to be incredible. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be kind to one another. Bye.